Hello everyone, this is an introductory video for the principles of design and importance of safety. Let us start understanding the subject as per UPSC based on the marks pattern that is divided or given for IES or engineering services. As per UPSC, the general principles of design, drawing and importance of safety constitutes of 5 to 15% of the overall marks. However, if we look at the number of questions that were given in ESC 2017, the number of questions were approximately 20, which of course has, however, deviated slightly from what was expected from 5 to 15%. Now, if we look at the ESC 2018 questions, the number of questions are 10. Let us start understanding the principles of design by establishing the definition of design first. By design, in general sense, means it establishes and defines solutions to the problems that were not solved before, or provides a new solution to an existing problem or an existing solution in a very different way. So either we find a new solution or improvise an existing solution. That is the definition of design. However, on a standard basis, Accreditation Board of Engineering and Technology ABET has defined design as a process of devising a component, a system or another process to meet the desired needs of the customer. Let us now look at a sample question based on the definition of the design process. Identify the wrong statement to define the design process. Option A, designing was what engineers, architects and others did in order to produce drawings needed by the customers. Option B, a goal-directed problem-solving activity. Option C, defines new solutions to problems which have been previously solved in a different way. Option D, design need to be a discovery of something new. Now, let us look at the options one by one. The first option says designing was what engineers, designers and architects did in order to produce drawings needed by the manufacturers. This statement clearly defines that the activity of overall design process as a part or an activity of engineers, designers and architects. So the overall problem solving activity has been defined in one statement. So this option is right. The second one is a goal directed problem solving activity. Just now we have discussed that design is identifying, that means defining and establishing a solution to an existing problem. So it is a goal directed problem solving activity. We have a goal to solve the existing problem. Option B is also correct. Let us look at option C. It defines new solutions to the problems that were defined in a different way. The option C talks about improvising an existing solution. As per our previous definition, even this one is a correct statement. Option D talks about discovery of something new. Design need not be a discovery. So the wrong statement is option D. So the answer is option D. Design of a product is generally a teamwork. By a team, we can define a team as a group of people working together to achieve a common goal or a purpose. And also their approach should be mutually accountable. Some of the important roles in a team are, the first one is a team sponsor. A team sponsor is a person who provides the required resources for the team. With the help of these resources, the team performs and achieves their respective goals or objectives. The second person is the team leader. As the name suggests, he leads the team. He schedules the team. He provides the required goals or objectives for each and every team member. He identifies the roles and responsibilities of each and every team member. If required, he motivates the team members. The next person is the facilitator. A facilitator is a person who provides the required skills or trains the required skills for the team members. Because all the team members who join the team will not be coming in with all the required skills. The facilitator, with the help of the team leader, identifies the skill gap and trains the team members for the same. The next person is the process observer. This role or this person can be a part of the team or of the management or somebody from the customer who is present during the meetings to ensure that the team is going or performing as per the objectives or as planned. Design is a team activity where the design personnel or the team members from different fields work across to achieve a common performance goal or an objective. Let us now look at the product design life cycle. Now, in order to design a product, right from identifying a problem that exists in the market to building the product and releasing it into the market, there are different stages. Based on the type of organization, the number of stages in the product life cycle may vary. Here are some stages which are coalesced to actually give a proper understanding of the number of stages in the product life cycle. The product life cycle begins with gathering the requirements. In this stage, we identify the problem that exists in the market and perform various market analysis to gather the customer requirements, which are then prioritized, and a product definition specifications or product design specifications are established. This helps the designers to come up with the next stage of generating various ideas or concepts that have a potential to solve the problem. So this is the second stage where the design team comes up with various ideas or the number of ideas to solve the existing problem. That is stage 2. The next one is stage 3. After generating various ideas that have a potential to solve the problem, the best idea is chosen. This choosing is done on the basis of evaluation. So this stage is also called evaluation of the concepts. Now this evaluation is done on an absolute criteria basis based on the number of specifications or requirements that the product or the concept fulfills, or on a relative basis to choose the best concept for the particular problem. Now after evaluating and choosing the best concept, the next stage is the embodiment design stage. The word embodiment means adding a physical form. So whatever is in the conceptual idea form at the end of the concept evaluation stage is given a physical form in this embodiment design stage. All the characteristics are built and the product is designed. The product is given all the flesh and blood during this stage. The next stage is the detailed design stage. At this stage, various design decisions are made, whether to manufacture the product inside the organization or identify the product with the potential suppliers and purchase the product or its components from that particular suppliers. Like this, there are various decisions that are made during the detailed design process, and final detailed drawings are submitted for the next department or the next stage, the manufacturing department. So this detailed design ensures that the completed drawings help the product to be manufactured in any part of the world. So during the manufacturing stage, the product is manufactured and it is marketed to the customers. Let us take a sample question from what we have learned so far. Consider the following steps which are used while solving the design problems. Statement 1. Analyze and select optimum solution. Statement 2, identify the problem and gather pertinent information. Statement 3, test and implement the solution. Statement 4, generate multiple solutions. What is the correct sequence or order of the design process? The options given are 2, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3 and 2. Option C, 2, 4, 1 and 3. Option D, 1, 4, 2 and 3. Now this particular question talks about the product design life cycle. The statement 1, analyze and select optimum solution, is nothing but concept evaluation, which comes as the third stage. The second one, identify the problem and gather pertinent information, is the first step of the product design process, that is gathering information. The third statement, test and implement the solution. This is generally done as a part and participle of embodiment design, where a physical form for the design or the product is built and then the product is immediately tested. The fourth one is generate multiple solutions. This is the second stage of what we have seen. It means generate various concepts. So the correct answer is 2, identify the problem and gather pertinent information. 4, generate multiple solutions. 1, analyze and select optimum solution. 3, test and implement the solution. So the answer is 2, 4, 1 and 3, that is option C. Let us look at the drawings in design. The drawings are the universal form of communication in the world of engineering. They are used to communicate between the designers themselves, or between the designers and manufacturers, or sometimes between the designers and the customers. They are used as a form of communication in the overall design activity. Now these drawings are broadly classified into 3 different types based on the stage at which these drawings are built. These drawings can be called as sketches, assembly drawings, and the third one is detailed drawings. Sketches, that is the first one, are built during the conceptual design stage. These are used to communicate the idea between the designers, or sometimes between the designers and customers. They only carry the functional aspects of the design. The second one is the assembly drawings. They communicate what are the different components that exist in the product, how they are placed, how they are oriented, and how they fit together. This helps the manufacturers to assemble the components inside the product. The third one are detailed drawings. These drawings communicate the various intrinsic features of individual components for the manufacturers to build the parts for the product. Ergonomics, or commonly known as human factors, is the application of psychological and physiological principles for the design of products, processes, and systems. The main objective or the goal of ergonomics is to reduce human error, increase the productivity, and to enhance or increase the safety and comfort of the personnel using the product, with specific focus on the interaction between a human and the thing of interest. Based on the previous knowledge of ergonomic design, let us take a sample question. Consider the following statements regarding ergonomic design. Statement 1. Reducing the stress on the spinal cord and providing for lesser fatigue causing sitting arrangements. Statement 2. Arrangement of keys on the computer keyboard towards optimizing finger stress levels. Statement 3, catering to the increased demand to produce more pleasing objects. Which of the above statements are correct? Options are 1 and 2 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, option D 1, 2 and 3. This particular question has appeared in the ESE 2018. Now if we look at the question, the statement 1 talks about reducing the stress on the spinal cord or providing for lesser fatigue causing sitting arrangements. That is a comfort causing arrangement for the human or the person who is using an object. The same thing, the same second statement also talks about arrangement of the keys on the computer keyboard towards optimizing finger stress levels. Even the second statement talks about the comfort for the user. The third statement talks about catering to the increasing demand to produce more pleasing objects. This is not what we have discussed about ergonomics. So the correct answer is 1 and 2 only. Answer is option A. Let us now start with the importance of safety. Now, safety is a relative protection from danger, risk or threat, harm or an injury to a person or a property. Now, how do we implement safety in design? Safety in design can be implemented using the following techniques. The first one is FMEA, failure modes and effects analysis. In this technique, we identify the various modes of failure that are possible for a particular product. This technique was initially developed by aerospace engineering to identify the various components where there is a potential chance of failure. After listing down the various potential modes of failure, the products are first identified for the failure modes. Then a severity number is assigned based on if the particular component fails, what is the damage that can be caused either to the product or to the person who is involved with the product. After identifying this severity number, then the probability of the failure is a number that is identified of what is the probability of this particular mode of failure to occur. Once this is identified, a detection number is identified which clearly states, is it possible to detect this kind of failure before it happens? Now based on that, we are going to assign a number. So the severity number, probability number and detection number are multiplied together to form risk priority number, and based on this risk priority number, we go across with the various actions or follow-up changes for the design so that the product can become reliable and safe. The next technique for the safety in design is fault tree analysis. It is a top-down deductive approach where the undesired failure or undesired state of the system is identified or deduced using Boolean logic to combine to a series of lower level events. The application of fault tree analysis helps the engineers in the safety or reliability engineering for the particular product to understand how the systems fail or to identify various ways to avoid or prevent or reduce the risk of failure. Third, determine particular system level failure. The current is an application of fault tree analysis. Let us take the example of a car that is disabled on a national highway. The possible reasons based on OR, Boolean logic or logic OR, can be either the engine stopped functioning, or there is insufficient drive on the wheels to actually drive the car, or the tire is flat, or the current condition of the road is in such a condition that the car cannot be steered, something like it is stuck in mud or etc., or the car has some brake failure or functional failure. Again, if I just take an application or specific failure condition of the tire is flat, then there are again two possibilities why the car is disabled on the national highway. Number one, or on this one, it is a Boolean logic and combination that the tire lacks sufficient air or air pressure to continue the journey, and the spare tire is not available. These are the two reasons why the car is stuck up on the national highway. Now, if we take again one of the reason for the failure, the tire does not have sufficient air pressure. Either it can be the damage of the tire, or because of some sharp object it has got deflated. Okay. Again, if we take on a condition where the spare tire is unavailable, the possible reasons with a logical OR can be spare tire is also flat, or the spare tire is missing, or the person who is actually driving the car does not know how to install a spare tire. So this is a typical example of the fault tree analysis with which one can decide what is the typical cause of the failure and the best way to prevent such kind of failures. After the safety in design, let us get across with safety in industries. Various safety policies are implemented in the organizations so as to guide the employers and the employees based on the applicable standards of the organization by their nature of work. These policies may include, the first one is safety and health policy statement. This can be a driving principle about safety for the employees. Based on this safety and health policy statement, the employees' trust with respect to the organization's commitment towards safety is attained. The next one is safety and health goals. The organization, that is the management, works with the various supervisors and the employees to build safety and health goals which are applicable to the organization. These safety and health goals guide the employees and the employers to identify any deviation with respect to safety within the organization in terms of hazard or an accident or anything can be predicted or eliminated. The next safety policy is new employee orientation. Here, the company's previous case studies or history is shared with the new employees, and the lessons learned from these failures or case studies are taught as a culture of the organization. Not only that, any hazardous equipment that are nearby are also explained in this new employee orientation. The next one is safety education and training. In terms of safety education and training, every employee is periodically trained in terms of safety and how they have to actually handle and behave in terms of crisis situation or in terms of dire need of safety. The next topic or the next policy is accidental investigation and reporting. In any circumstance of an accident, the accident, how it has caused, or how was it actually occurred, what is the root cause of the accident, and what are the correction steps that are taken, and how to prevent such accidents in future. All these steps are to be thoroughly dealt in an organization. The next policy is providing personal protective equipment to each and every employee. These personal protective equipment can include helmets, earplugs, or gloves, or some specific clothing, safety boots, or sometimes the eyewear or goggles, which are required to handle certain specific equipment or material. The next topic is safety rules. At each and every location or the safety working site, certain specific safety rules are to be published and educated to each and every employee, employer, and any person who is actually visiting that site, so that in case of emergency, the knowledge of the safety rules provides required safety or prevent any extreme danger for the particular person. Now, based on our understanding in terms of safety, let us now look at our sample question. The question is, consider the following statements regarding safety practices at workplaces. Statement 1, fewer staff absences. Statement 2, sustainable growth of the organizations. Statement 3, more visitors and tourists. Statement 4, more profit margins for the company. Of the above, the correct statements are option A 1 and 3, option B 1, 2, 3 and 4, option C 1, 2 and 4, option D 2, 3 and 4. Now, with the implementation of safety practices at workplaces, the organization can reduce the number of absentees of the staff or the employees. So, the first statement is correct. Second, sustainable growth of the organizations. Now, as the safety practices are implemented at the workplace, the number of or the probability of accidents within the workplace decreases. Because of this decrease, there can be a sustainable growth of the organizations. Third, with the implementation of safety practices, it builds the trust for visitors and tourists to visit the organization. Fourth, because of the safety practices at workplaces, the profit margins are increased by eliminating the chances of loss of property or loss of personnel in any accident. So, all the four statements are correct. So, the answer is option B. This is another question where two statements are given. Statement 1, it talks about no job or task is more important than the health and safety of the worker. The statement 2 talks about if a job presents a potential threat to the worker, then every effort shall be made to plan a safe way to complete the task in a safe manner. Here, the statement, first statement says no task or job is more important than health and safety of the employee. That is a correct statement in terms of safety. And the second statement says, in terms of safety, if a job presents any potential threat, then every effort shall be made in order to minimize that threat situation. So, this completely explains statement 1. In order to make the employee completely safe in the at the workplace, this is very important. So, first statement is correct, second statement is correct, and a very good explanation of statement 1. So, answer is option A. The next topic is fire safety. Fire, combustion or burning is a rapid exothermic reaction of the ignited fuel or oxidation of the ignited fuel. Now, if we take the situation of a fire requires three elements. That is, one is a fuel, the oxidizer, the third one is the ignition source. These three form a combustion triangle. The oxygen is a supporter of combustion or the oxidizer. The fuel is the actual substance that gets burned. The ignition's heat is the actual heat source that actually starts the combustion. Until these three conditions are met, the combustion or the fire does not start. This is a primary driving principle in terms of understanding how to extinguish, control, or begin a fire. Based on the fire and fire triangle, we identify the various classes of fire, where class A stands for combustible materials like solid combustible materials like paper, wood, coal, charcoal, etc. Class B types of fire is the fire where inflammable liquids are used as the source of fuel. So that means petrol, kerosene, diesel, etc. come into class B type of fire. Class C is the fire that ignited from flammable gases, something like LPG, CNG, methane, butane, etc. Class D is a fire that has actually ignited from flammable metals like sodium, potassium, lithium, etc. Class E or electrical equipment is the fire that ignited because of short circuit of some of the electrical equipment. Class F is the fire that actually originated from various cooking oils or similar types. Now we use various fire extinguishers like water, foam, dry powder, carbon dioxide or wet chemical, and their application to each and every different classes are mentioned in the slide. Thank you.